filename.html. So we are saying that this component is associated to a specific template, and the style URLs can be specified. Here filename.css, we can write any number of CSS files. So all these mentioned CSS files will be loaded automatically along with the component. So when this component is invoked, automatically the CSS styles gets applied. And also the selector means tag name, through which tag you want to call this particular component in the index.html. For example, see, I just go to app.component.ts. In order to say that this is a component, we have to keep the @component and the selector, template URL, style URLs. 3 are the metadata. First of all, I am going to create a class. Okay, so class is a collection of properties and methods. Properties are used to store the data. Whenever you want to store the data, you have to go for the properties. Whenever we have some operations or manipulations to perform, that can be called as methods. Now, it is just a naming convention to have the word component in order to say it's a component. So this actual name can be anything. For example, in place of app, we can assume in future login component or registration component. Every meaningful section of the page is called as a component. And in order to say this is a component, we have to specify @component, which specifies that the following class is a component. Above which class we are writing this @component, to that class only it gets applied. So @component, and inside that selector, template URL, style URLs. Selector is the name of the tag with which you are going to call this particular component in the index.html file or in the other template. See, in the index.html, what is the tag we are writing to invoke the component? app-root. So this tag name must be registered here, then only with the tag name we can call it from any place. Every component must be associated to any one template. For example, app.component.html, which is present in the same folder. To represent the same folder, we have to say /. So in the same folder, we have the file called app.component.html. Have a look once. So where is the app.component.ts file? The same folder, right? To represent the same folder, self folder /, then the file name is app.component.html. And in the same folder only, we have the CSS. The CSS files can be multiple. That's why it is an array. Not directly we can write the path. So one or more CSS file names you can write here, which are associated to the component. And this title equal to app1 is just an example. We can remove it. Now this is the component. But how this particular component can execute? In order to execute this component, you must make it as a part of the module. So let's understand what is module first of all. A module is a group of components. A group of several components is nothing but module. For example, you created home component, about component, contact component. These 3 are one general module. These are for user access. So these are called user module. Same way, registration form, login form, change password form, forgot password form, my profile page. All these pages or components are nothing but one group, that is a account module, which are for user account maintenance. Like this, based on the purpose of the components, we are able to group them by using modules concept. So have a look once here. In this place, here we are going to create a module. We are going to create a new module. See the name of the module. What is the name of the module? App module. Inside the app module, we are going to write declarations, imports, providers, and bootstrap. Declarations means what components must be members of this particular module. Okay, this is the module. Module by definition may be a collection of multiple components. What components should be the members of this module? The list of components of the list of modules can be mentioned by using the declarations. Next, imports means the list of modules that you want to import. What modules you want to import before running these components, which are essential to run any one of these components, which will be used in any one of the components. The corresponding module can be imported here. For example, I would like to import account module in order to run our app module. So we have to mention the name account module. Okay, presently as account module is not created really, that's why it is showing error. If you create so, it will invoke. So we can import any module. In this module, if you import the module, whatever the modules that are already exported there, that will be imported. Not everything, but inside that module on the opposite side, we have to export. That exported modules only we are able to import here. Next, providers means list of services present in this module, which can be used in the current working module. Bootstrap means the default component, means if you don't specify anything, by default what component should be executed, the default component name can be mentioned as app component. And this app component is present in separate file, right? app.component.ts, right? So in order to import this component here, what we have to try to do, here we must give export. Export specifies that this is the name of the component, and this component wants to give to other files. So in other files, we are able to import it. How do we import? By writing import. Which class you want to import? App component. From which file you want to import? app.component.ts. .ts will be taken automatically. That's why we are just writing the class name, the file name, that is app.component.ts file extension will be taken automatically, and that component should be member of this. And here bootstrap means by default which component should execute. Okay, the component name we have mentioned here, we have to mention here, that should be by default should be executed when we run the app module. See, by default it is able to run only one module. Inside that module only one component. That component may invoke other components from different modules. At the basic level, only one single component you have to take. Okay, now let's prepare some basic look and feel for this component. So I want to include or install Bootstrap in this particular component. How to include Bootstrap? We have to go to another instance of the command prompt. There we have to provide cd Angular 3pm cd app1. There what we have to try to do, so what we have to try to do is that, okay, we should get the Bootstrap means first we have to go to the package.json file. In the package.json file, the list of packages that are already imported are available here. That means Angular / animations, common, compiler, whatever the packages needed to run Angular application are already mentioned here. Then we have to specify jQuery. Where we require jQuery here? Because Bootstrap requires jQuery. Angular doesn't require jQuery, but Bootstrap requires jQuery, right? So first we have to add jQuery, then popper.js. Current version it will show automatically, that is 1.14.4, and also the Bootstrap. That's all. These are the list of components that you want to import. So these packages should be installed in our local machine. How do we install this? in this command prompt window, we have to provide the command called npm install. The command npm install will install the corresponding packages whichever mentioned there, Bootstrap, jQuery and popper.js. In fact, it will read the list of components and will install the same. So then we can verify in the node_modules location, then we have jQuery package we have or not, check it, jQuery. No, jQuery package is not there. Okay, let's find the jQuery package. Check the path C:\Angular 3pm app1 node_modules jQuery. Okay, otherwise Bootstrap package not installed. Okay, let me check here. So we have to add the jQuery, popper.js and Bootstrap. 3 packages we have added in the dependency section, and we have to go to the C:\Angular 3pm app1. There we have to give the command of npm install. Again I am giving. Okay, so it is going to install the mentioned packages. We have mentioned 3 package names, jQuery, popper.js. Okay, jQuery Q small. jQuery Q small only. Okay, we are going to mention the version number 3.3.1. Current version number 3.3.1. Now it is really installing. Now we can check there in the C:\Angular 3pm app1 node_modules. Remember this location. In this location, we have to open jQuery package now installed. In the jQuery folder, dist folder, jQuery.js. This file is required. This file is only our actual file that you have to import. Plus another one that you require is popper.js. Okay, so we have popper.js. In the popper.js, we have the folder like a dist folder. There we have the file popper.js file. Okay, this file is required. And at the same time, we have something called Bootstrap.